A very good morning to all. Today let's start this class with a new chapter, chapter number 18, and the name of the chapter is India Physical Features. So here physical features means the features of the landscape. So here in this chapter we will be discussing about the 6 main physical features of our country, that is the northern mountains, the northern plains, the great Indian desert, the peninsular plateau and the coastal plains. Now here in Newsmaker, you can see the picture of Anant Hegde Asisara. He is an environmentalist from Uttara Kannada district, Karnataka, and he is a former chairman of Western Ghats Task Force. So what do you understand by Western Ghats? So here in this map, you can see the Western Ghats that are the continuous mountain chain that runs parallel to the western coast of Indian Peninsula, and it extends from the states, that is Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Here peninsula means a piece of land that is surrounded by water bodies, and the main function of this Western Ghats Task Force is to conserve the natural ecosystem and the development of this particular region. And the Western Ghats is also listed in the list of UNESCO's World Heritage Site. And Asisara is also involved in people's movement against the mining activities that are carried out at Ambraguda Hill range of the Western Ghats located in Shimoga district, Karnataka. So this was about Anant Hegde Asisara, who is an environmentalist from Uttara Kannada district, Karnataka. Next, let's discuss about Indian subcontinent. So here kids, you know that India is a land of diversity, and India is famous for its different types of physical features, the climatic condition, the different types of crops that are grown here, and the different types of people who live in India with different culture and tradition. And here in the atlas, you can see the Indian subcontinent, that is the Great Asian landmass, which is located at the head of the Indian Ocean in the eastern hemisphere. Here Indian subcontinent means the countries, that is India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Bhutan, Nepal and Bangladesh, which are separated by the mighty Himalayas from the other Asian countries. So all these countries together, they are known as Indian subcontinent. And the Tropic of Cancer, it divides India into 2 halves. So here the southern half of India is in tropical zone and the northern part of India, it's in temperate zone. And that's why we say that India has a subtropical type of climate. And you all know that the 82°30' east longitude that passes through a place near Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh, on which the Indian Standard Time is based. Now, the time based on this meridian is taken as the Indian Standard Time. The next thing that you can see here in the map is that the southern part of India is surrounded by the 3 water bodies, that is the Arabian Sea to the west, Bay of Bengal in the east, and to the south lies the Indian Ocean, and that's why it is known as Peninsular India. And India also has a long coastline. Here coastline means a land along the coast, and this coastline is not smooth. It is zigzag in nature and it also has many natural harbors. And harbor means the place where the ship takes shelter for various purposes. So this was about the Indian subcontinent. Now, as we have already discussed in the previous chapters, that the 6 physical features of our country are: the first one, the northern mountains, which are located in the north and mentioned in dark brown color. The second one is the northern plains, that is mentioned in the green color. Next one, the great Indian desert, that are located in the states of Gujarat and Rajasthan in the west. Next one, the peninsular plateau, that is located at the center of India, which is marked in light brown color. Next feature is the coastal plains that are found in the western and the eastern coast. And the last physical feature are the islands. So in this chapter, we will be discussing them. So first, let's discuss about the northern mountains. As you can see here in this picture, the northern mountains, it forms a series of mountain ranges or mountains chains that originates from Pamir Knot in Central Asia. Now this northern mountain has three ranges, that is the Karakoram range, Ladakh range and the Himalayas. Once again, the three significant ranges are the Karakoram range, the Ladakh range and the Himalayas. So let's see this figure once again. As I told you, the northern mountains, it forms the series of mountain ranges originating in Pamir Knot in Central Asia. And this northern mountain has three ranges, that is Karakoram range, Ladakh range and the Himalayas. Out of these, the Himalayas are the highest and the most important one. And they are also known as the young fold mountains because these were formed within the last 40 million years ago. And in the map, you can see the Himalayas, they start from Kashmir in the north towards the east in the Arunachal Pradesh. And at the eastern end, these Himalayas are known as Arunachal Mountains. And after that, it bends towards southward and it forms the Patkai Bum and Naga Hills in the north, then the Garo, Kasi and the Jayantai Hills in the center and the Lasai Hills in the south. So here the Himalayas, it stretches from Kashmir in the north to Arunachal Pradesh in the east. And this Himalayas have three ranges, that is the first one, the Greater Himalayas or the Himadri. Second one is the Middle Himalayas or the Himachal. The third one is the Outer Himalayas or the Shivalik. So here in this map, you can see the three ranges. So the first one is the Greater Himalaya or the Himadri, and below that is the Middle Himalaya or the Himachal, and the third one is the Outer Himalaya or the Shivalik. So first we'll discuss the Greater Himalayas or Himadri. So this Himadri range is the highest and the northernmost range with an average height of about 6,000 meter above the sea level. And due to its extreme height, it is very difficult to cross these mountains, and the people, they cross it by the Ghats or passes such as the Karakoram Pass, Shipkila Pass, Nathula Pass and Zojila Pass. And Kanchenjunga in Sikkim is the highest Himalayan peak in India. Other peaks are Naga Parbat, Nanda Devi and Kamet. So this was about the Outer Himalaya, which is also known as the Himadri. Now the next one is the Middle Himalaya, and it lies to the south of the Greater Himalaya, and the height varies between 1,500 to 3,500 meter above sea level, and it is also known as the Lesser Himalaya, and it has many beautiful hill stations such as Pahalgaon, Gulmarg, Shimla, Mussoorie, Almora and Darjeeling, and many longitudinal valleys and duns. For example, the Kashmir Valley, the Kullu Valley and Kangra Valley. So this was about the Middle Himalayas or the Himachal. Now the third one is the Outer Himalayas or the Shivalik. So it lies to the southern of the Middle Himalaya, and the average height is about 1,550 meter, and this is not a continuous range, but here it merges with marshy foothills, which is known as terai. So here marshy means wet and foothills means a lower hill at the base of the mountain. So this Himalayan range is not a continuous range and it merges with marshy foothills, which is known as terai. So this mountainous belt is very important for tourism, for trade, for fruit production and animal rearing. So this was about the northern mountains. Now the next physical feature is the northern plains, and You all know that the plains are large area of flat land, and the northern plain, it lies to the south of the foothills of the Himalayas. So here in the map you can see that the northern plains, it stretches from Punjab in the west to Assam in the east. This northern plain is also flat everywhere, and the total length of these plains is about 2400 km, and the width varies between 150 km and 320 km. Now these are very fertile and it's good for growing different types of crops. Now this plain is very fertile due to the deposition of alluvium, that is clay, silt and sand, which are deposited by the rivers, that is the three river system. And the three river systems are the Satluj, which is one of the tributary of river Indus that flows mostly in Pakistan. Second one is the Ganga and its tributaries. The third one is the Brahmaputra. Here tributary is a stream that joins a bigger river and becomes a part of it. So the three river systems in the northern plains are the Satluj, the Ganga and its tributaries, and the Brahmaputra. So let's discuss them one by one. So here you can see the Indus River and its tributaries. So the part of the northern plain that is extended in Pakistan is known as the Indus Plain. As you can see here, the Satluj and the Beas, which is another tributary of river Indus, it flows across the western part of the northern plains, and mostly the crops like wheat and rice are grown here. So this was about the western part of the northern plain. So next let's discuss about the central part of the plain. So here the central part of the plains in Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal and eastern Rajasthan is drained by river Ganga and its tributaries. So these tributaries, they flow from the Himalayas, and in the south it flows from the central highland of the Peninsula Plateau. So this was about the Ganga and its tributaries. Next one, that is the third river system, is the Brahmaputra. Now this Brahmaputra river, it originates in Tibet and then it flows to Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. After it flows through Assam, it enters Bangladesh, and here the river Brahmaputra, it joins with river Ganga and jointly they together flow into the Bay of Bengal. But before they flow into the sea, these two rivers, they deposit large quantities of silt and sediments which forms the world's largest and fertile delta, which is known as the Ganga Brahmaputra delta. Here delta is a triangle shaped feature which is formed by the deposition of silt and sediment before the rivers meet into the sea. So this was about the three river systems, that is the Satluj, the Ganga and its tributaries, and the third one is the Brahmaputra. So here you have an activity. The activity is make a list of all the tributaries that join the Ganga from the north and from the south. So this answer you have to write it and submit in Teams. That's all for today. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.